Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, the ESG Hub. This is Dr. Ankita Kashyap welcoming you back to my channel with a yet interesting topic on ESG. Today in this session, I will be trying to explain the three very relevant topics, the terms I would say, how they are similar and yet they mean different things. Often people confuse them as similar terms and use them interchangeably. So the three terms that we are going to use today and discuss this further in the video is sustainability, corporate social responsibility, that is CSR, and environment social governance, which is ESG. Often people use them interchangeably, but there is a slight difference in all these three terms. So if you are interested to know more about these three terms and how they are similar and yet different, please stay tuned and watch till the end of the video. So without wasting any more time, let's straight away dive into these three terms one by one. The first term that I'm picking up is sustainability. So what is sustainability? Now, sustainability refers to the ability of the present generation to use the resources judiciously. And why should we use the resources judiciously that we have? So that our future generations and their needs in no way are compromised. And this is what is the crux of sustainability. Using the present resources judiciously so that you're saving them for our generations to come. Now, when you think of sustainability, the first thing that can explain it much better and can throw more light on this are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Now, these SDGs, as we refer to them as, have been laid down by United Nations. Now, these 17 goals are prima facie talking about environmental, social, governance, economic parameters. And what you can see on your screens now is a snapshot of these SDGs. So as you can see, it talks about clean energy, water, protecting the planet, life below water. All these are environmental factors that it touches upon, and these are the goals that they have laid down for environment factors. When you read through no poverty, no hunger, gender equality, etc., all these are the goals which refer to the social aspects. And when you see goals here, which talks about partnerships, collaboration, peace and justice, broadly we can cover them under the governance and the economic parameters. So these 17 development goals are something that gives more color to what sustainability means. Now, when the organizations are taking efforts to meet all these goals, to have practices around them, with the larger objective being that they want to be responsible, with the larger objective being that they want to be ethical in their conduct, so that they can have a long-term survival within the industry and the business sphere, is something that we call as corporate sustainability, or in Norman parlance, we call them just sustainability. To understand this a bit further, this sustainability as a concept is called the 3P approach. We break it down into 3 Ps and we see them as an interconnected Venn diagram of Ps that we talk about. Now, what are these 3 Ps? This is profit, people, and planet. We also refer this as the triple bottom line approach. Now, what does this signify? It simply goes on to show that, as we all know, profit is the main objective of running any organization, of running any business. You are in it to make money for yourself, for the investors, for the shareholders, and everyone. Right? So that is something which is the main objective. But when we say sustainability, the idea is to make profits, but it should not come at the cost of any harm that is being caused to people or the planet in which the organization is operating. And hence it is the 3 Ps. So it's profit, people, and planet, the triple bottom line approach. So, sustainability simply means that the company must adopt all measures possible for what? To mitigate any kind of negative impact that it is creating on the people, on the planet, in any manner, directly, indirectly, and in a way create a positive way of leading the business eventually, helping business to create profit, but also not causing any problems and any negative impacts on people and the planet. So now that we've talked about sustainability, this makes me bring to my next term, which is quite interrelated. It's corporate social responsibility. Now, what is CSR? CSR term can be thought as a more self-regulated business approach. And why I call this as a self-regulated business approach is because the goal of this, the objective behind corporate social responsibility is enhancing the societal and environmental well-being. Right? So if an organization has corporate social responsibility, it simply means that it has a broad plan, it has a broad blueprint of what it wants to do, but probably the implementation plan is not set in stone. And why we say this is not set in stone is because the basic essence of doing corporate social responsibility or indulging into this activity is more qualitative in nature. So you are not measuring in quantified aspects, the outcome of the good that you are doing, or whatever welfare programs you have for the society and the environment. You are not quantifying these aspects. So the idea of CSR is doing good, emphasizing the importance of or the effectiveness of ethical conduct of the organization. But how it is different from sustainability is the profit part of it. Now, though we use this term interchangeably, sustainability and CSR, but I would say that CSR activities are more philanthropic in nature. Where you are making donations to educational institutes, you can be making donations to hospitals, health institutes, etc. While you are not attaching these donations to any profit or financial aspects of the organization. And when we discuss sustainability, remember we were talking about the 3P approach, which is profit, people, and planet. So while sustainability talks about all these three things, CSR is only talking about societal and environmental well-being and not linking it to the financial aspects. So I would say that sustainability is a broader term and it encompasses all the activities that are being done under the corporate social responsibility as well. So the mantra that goes well with CSR is do well by doing good. Now, a great example that we have here is how big organizations, Reliance Foundation and Tata Group among many others, how they supported and sponsored the athletes in our Asian Games this year. So And we saw that our country made a radical improvement in the score tally. Now, this is what they've done. They've helped the athletes in terms of a monetary support that they gave. This is termed as corporate social responsibility. There is no financial aspects that are linked to this. So I hope the distinction between CSR and sustainability is a little bit clear now. After having discussed both these topics, we now move on to our third topic, which is again similar and yet different in that sense. It's called ESG. So ESG is basically an acronym for the three parameters that it entails, which is environmental, social, and governance. Now, while we say that CSR is more qualitative in nature, ESG on the other hand is a concept which is quantifiable in nature. So this is a concept which quantifies the assessment of corporate sustainability. So when I say ESG, this can be considered as a more defined, a framework, or you can say this is a tool which assesses how the company is creating a positive or a negative impact on all the three parameters. Right? Now, to give you an example around this, if a company states that, let's say they donated X amount to plant these many number of trees in a rural neighborhood, then that is an example of corporate social responsibility. But if a company says, let's say, that they are setting measurable scientific targets to become net zero, right? This is a more ESG term. or this statement is an example of ESG. Now, do you understand the distinction between the two things? So the first, when I'm talking about planting trees, is more, donation oriented. This is more descriptive in nature. While the second term, where we say that there are scientific targets to become net zero, shows that there is a quantifiable roadmap that is leading to a target which is becoming net zero. So that's what the difference between CSR and ESG is. And to give you examples of ESG on the social side, let's say, is the company adopting a policy on diversity in its recruitment practices? If yes, you're going to state the number of male, female, differently abled people that you have within the organization. How many are there from LGBTQIA plus community? So all this kind of measures in figures and in statistical terms if you are actually doing what you are saying you are doing, right? On the governance side, examples could be, does the company have a well-defined structure for anti-bribery, etc.? Anti-corruption policy do you have? Do you have a code of conduct policy? All these policies, is it embedded in the culture of the organization? When the employees join the organization, are they given training on these in their orientation for their joining? On the supply chain side, there could be aspects like, are the suppliers audited? Are they evaluated on the basis of the ESG parameters? Is there some kind of due diligence that takes place? Do you identify your critical suppliers in terms of the ESG aspects? So these are certain examples of ESG practices. And as I said, ESG revolves more around targets, metrics, measurable assessment of sustainability for the organization. And now that we're talking about all these measurable aspects, ESG also talks about, or includes rather, the risks and opportunity analysis component to this, which means it becomes more holistic again as compared to CSR, where the investors will get to know, the potential risks and opportunities that are involved, and what kind of losses will not happen because the organization or the company is conducting its operations in a responsible manner. So to wrap it up, I'll just quickly summarize it. Sustainability is a broader term of which CSR and ESG are a part of. While CSR talks about only the philanthropic aspects, and it talks about more in terms of qualitative measures, ESG is a term which talks about quantifying the assessment of the corporate sustainability, and it focuses on risks and opportunity analysis and helps the investors to understand what it gains if the company acts in a responsible manner. So with this, I come to the end of this video. I hope it was a good learning session for you. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Keep watching this space for more content on ESG related aspects. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.